Hi, may tanong ako sa'yo. Isa ka ba sa mga batang nahihirapang mag-divide ng decimals? Natitense ka ba kapag nakikita mo na yung division symbol at saka yung decimal point ay magkasama sa isang equation? Napapagalitan ka ba ni mama at saka ni papa pag nakikita nila yung scores mo when it comes to dividing decimals? Kung yes ang sagot mo, don't worry because this video was made especially for you. And I hope you will stay until the end of this video. And also, I encourage you to watch this with your family members. Kung andyan si kuya, si ate, tawagin mo at nang sabay-sabay kayong makapanood. Pwede rin naman si nanay at saka si tatay. Because always remember, in this time of COVID-19, we heal as one, we learn as one. By the way, I am Mr. Lino M. Pagaling, Master Teacher 1 of Talavera Central School. Most of my pupils call me Sir Onil. So, ano pang hinihintay natin? So, if you're ready, tara! Let's learn together at Sir Onil's Classroom. Before we start our lesson proper, let me give you some tips first. Hopefully, these tips can help you improve your division skills. Follow these tips, and I assure you, lahat ng problema mo when it comes to division will be solved. So, ready ka na ba? Kung ready na, let's go! Tip number 1. Master the multiplication table. Mastering the multiplication table is very important when it comes to division. Bakit? Di ba we have 4 fundamental operations? So, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So, itong dalawa na to, itong ating addition at saka subtraction, sila yung mag-best friends sa apat. They are very much related to each other. Well, on the other hand, ito namang dalawa na to, the multiplication and division, sila naman yung mag-beshi. Sila naman yung hindi mo mapaghihiwalay because they are very much related or connected to each other. If you're having a hard time with your multiplication table, for sure, mahihirapan ka rin sa division. And the same way, pagka-master mo naman yung multiplication table, mas malaki yung chance na talagang mas madadalian ka sa division. So, para mas madalian ka sa division, make sure that you master your multiplication table. And that is my tip number 1, master the multiplication table. Tip number 2, do the correct order of the division process. It is not enough that we master the multiplication table. Siyempre, dapat master din natin yung correct order of the division process. I think the reason why most pupils are having a hard time with their division is because division alone has 3 different fundamental operations. It involves 3 different operations. Meron tayong division, multiplication, and subtraction. And it should be done in that particular order. Meaning, division muna, followed by multiplication, and then last yung subtraction. And then after that subtraction, babalik tayo dun sa main division. It's like a cycle until we get the correct quotient. So with my experience, para mas madaling matandaan ng mga learners yung correct order of the division process, nagbibigay ako ng code. So pwedeng yung first letter ng operation, that will be our code. Like for division, it could be D, multiplication, M, and then yung subtraction, S. So pagka may code na kami, if we are able to establish the code, yung DMS, in that way, maalala nila na yung correct order of the process should be DMS, or division, multiplication, and subtraction. And sometimes, pag minsan nakakalimutan pa rin nila, gumagamit ako ng acrostic with DMS. So my acrostics with DMS is, dito maraming siopaw. Yes. Yes, it's kind of funny, but the important thing is they could remember the correct order of the process. And that is my tip number 2, which is do the correct order of the division process. Tip number 3, put the decimal point in the right place. Yes, numbers are very important in your answers, but decimal point is as important as those numbers. Why? Because it's a big part of your answer. You may have the correct numbers in your quotient, but if you put the decimal point in the wrong place, your answers will be considered incorrect. That is why we need to check if our decimal point is in the correct place. Or else, masasayang lahat ng effort natin. So to make sure, apply my tip number 3, put the decimal point in the right place. And that sums up my 3 simple tips with the division of decimals. First, master the multiplication table. Second, always do the correct order of the process. Third, put the decimal point in the right place. Now that we're done with my tips, we are now ready for our lesson proper. So, handa na ba kayo? Kung handa na, again, let's go! So, for our first example, let's have 7 and 2/10 divided by 4. This is an example of a decimal divided by a whole number. Here are the steps. Step 1. Check if the divisor is a decimal or a whole number. It is very important na ang una natin titingnan is yung ating divisor. Let us check if this divisor is a whole number or a decimal. O in this case, ano ba yung ating divisor? Is it a whole number or a decimal? Very good. 4 is a whole number. Step number 2. If the divisor is a whole number, just put a decimal point right above the decimal point of the dividend. Once na ma-sure natin na yung ating divisor is a whole number, titingnan natin kagad yung decimal point na nasa dividend. Ang sabi, put a decimal point right above, sa itaas, no, ng ating decimal point katapat ng decimal point ng nasa dividend natin. So kung andito yung decimal point natin, we need to put a decimal point right above it. After that, we can now proceed to division just like whole numbers. Magdi-divide na tayo, parang whole numbers. Okay, so let's divide. So let's start with this digit first, 7. 7 divided by 4 is 1. Tapos na tayo sa division. Susunod natin yung M, multiplication. 1 times 4 is how many? Yes, 1 times 4 is 4. Tapos na tayo sa multiplication. Now that we're done with multiplication, of course, according to the process, what's next? Yes, subtraction. So we're going to subtract 7 minus 4. What is the difference of 7 minus 4? Very good, 3. Now, after the subtraction, we need to bring down the next number. So ang susunod na number is 2, so we need to bring that down. 3 will become 32. Now that we're done with subtraction, ang sabi ko kanina, we will return to the division process. So this number will be divided to our divisor. So 32 divided by 4 is, yes, 8. Notice the alignment of the numbers. Kailangan din yun, ano? Kailangan naka-align yung ating mga numbers the same way na yung ating decimal point ay naka-align din. Okay? So 8 times 4, since tapos na tayo mag-divide, 8 times 4 is how many? 32. Done na with the multiplication. Therefore, what operation is next? Very good. Minus, no? Or subtraction. So 32 minus 32 is 0. Now, tingnan natin kung meron pa ba tayong pwedeng i-bring down o ibabang number. Meron pa ba? Yes. We notice that there is no number left, no, for us to bring down. Therefore, ibig sabihin nun, the process is done. And our quotient is 1 and 8/10. Nasundan nyo ba? Don't worry, meron pa tayong mga susunod na examples. Next example, 76 and 200 divided by 3. Step number 1, check if the divisor is a decimal or a whole number. So in our example, 3 is the divisor, and yes, it is a whole number. If the divisor is a whole number, what are we going to do? Just put a decimal point right above the decimal point of the dividend. So here is the decimal point. All we have to do is write a decimal point right above it. After that, let's skip to step number 3. We can now proceed to division just like whole numbers. So let's solve. So 7 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Then, subtraction. What is the difference of 7 and 6? Very good. So 1. Bring down 6. We have now 16. 16 divided by 3. Yes, it's 5. Then 5 times 3 is 15. Then 16 minus 15 is 1. Bring down 0. Now we have 10. 10 divided by 3 is 3. Then 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract. 10 minus 9 is 1. Bring down the last number, which is 2, making it 12. 12 by 3 is 4. Then 4 times 3 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Now, wala nang number na pwedeng i-bring down. Therefore, it just means that our division process is complete. And our quotient is 25 and 34 hundredths. Nasundan ba, class? Let's proceed to our next example. This time, we have 52 and 32 hundredths divided by 12. Yes, tama ang naobserbahan ninyo. This time, we are going to use a double-digit divisor. Usually, if we have a double-digit number or more, gumagamit tayo ng trial and error method. So, yung trial and error method, ito yung paulit-ulit na pagmumultiply to get the correct quotient. But for the sake of this video, nilista ko na lahat yung possible answer, no? So, this is for 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, and so on and so forth. So, ano ba gamit nito? Mamaya, malalaman natin, no? So, punta na tayo sa step number 1 and solve this one, ano? So, step 1 is check if the divisor is a decimal or a whole number. So, obviously, it's a whole number. So, proceed to step number 2. If the divisor is a whole number, put a decimal point right above the decimal point. So, kung ito ay ating decimal point, maglagay ng decimal point sa taas. Now, we are now going to proceed to our third step, which is division just like whole numbers. Since we have a double-digit divisor, obviously, ang gagamitin natin for our division is yung dalawang digit din na nauuna sa ating dividend. So, 52. We are looking for 52. Andito na ngayon sa gilid, no? So, we are looking for the nearest lower, no, product. No? Pwedeng equal, pwedeng lower. Hindi pwedeng lumagpas. So, since we are looking for 52, anong number ba dito, no? Yung gagamitin natin to get the quotient. So, if we're going to use 36, may mas malapit pa doon, hindi ba? If we're going to use 4, that gives 48. If we're going to use 5, 60. Lagpas na, no? So, it is higher than 52. So, it's not the answer. So, our answer is 48, no? Pero ang pinakasagot natin, ang quotient natin is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Nasundan ba? Okay. Next, 4 times 12 is 48. Then subtract. 52 minus 48 is 4. Bring down 3. Now, pupunta ulit tayo dito sa ating guide. So, we have 43. No? So, we're looking for the nearest lower product. So, 43. Malapit sa 43 na mas mababa or equal. So, what is that? Can we still use 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. That gives us 48. So, hindi. No? So, the answer is 36 and that is 1, 2, 3, 3. Very good. Now, 3 times 12 is 36. 43 minus 36 is 7. Bring down 2. Now, we are looking for 72. Again, pupunta tayo dito sa ating guide. We are looking for a number the nearest lower or equal to 72. So we're looking for 72. There, no? Meron tayong eksaktong sagot, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No? And the quotient is 6. 6 times 12, obviously, alam naman na natin, 72. Subtract them, 72 minus 72 is 0. And our final quotient is 4 and 36 hundredths. Nasundan nyo ba mga bata? Hindi ba madali lang naman? Just follow the 3 simple steps and for sure makukuha natin yung correct quotient. Now, yung mga susunod na mga examples, kayo na ang sasagot, no? So I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen and get ready to solve the following examples. Now let's have some practice exercises. You will be the one to answer the following examples. So first example, we have 205 and 56 hundredths divided by 6. Kung medyo nahihirapan pa kayo, don't worry kasi andyan naman yung 3 simple steps natin on how to divide a decimal by whole number. If you need more time to answer this example, don't worry. Pwede mo namang i-pause. Tapos, i-play mo na lang after you got your quotient. So, are your pens and papers ready? If you're ready, alam niyo na sabihin ko, let's go! Time's up. Now it's time to check your works. Tingnan nga natin kung tama yung sagot ninyo. So let us check. So following the 3 simple steps, check if the divisor is a whole number or a decimal. Since it is a whole number, put a decimal point above the decimal point of the dividend. Then proceed to division just like whole numbers. So 2 and 0. So 20 divided by 6 is 3. Times 6 is 18. Then minus 18 is 2. Tingnan nyo kung tama yung sagot ninyo dyan sa may paper ninyo. Then bring down 5. And then 25 divided by 6, 4. And then 24. 25 minus 24 is 1. Bring down 5. And then 15 by 6 is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. Then bring down 6, the last number. And 36 divided by 6 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 minus 36 is 0. Who got the correct answer? Very good. Let's proceed to the next example. Now, for the next one, let's try a double-digit divisor. Ganun lang sa ginawa ko kanina. You may try the trial and error method to get the quotient. Andyan pa rin sa gilid yung ating simple steps, so follow them. Again, if you need more time, just pause them while you are answering, and then pagtapos na yung sagot, pwede nyo nang i-play uli to check if your answer is correct. So, ready na ba ang ating pen and paper? Kung ready na, yung lagi ko sinasabi, let's go! Now, for the next one, let's try a double-digit divisor. Ganun lang sa ginawa ko kanina. You may try the trial and error method to get the quotient. Andyan pa rin sa gilid yung ating simple steps, so follow them. Again, if you need more time, just pause them while you are answering, and then pagtapos na yung sagot, pwede nyo nang i-play uli to check if your answer is correct. So, ready na ba ang ating pen and paper? Kung ready na, yung lagi ko sinasabi, let's go! Time's up! Now, let's check your answers. For the sake of this video, again, nilista ko na yung ating mga possible answers since this is a double-digit divisor. Okay? So, following the simple steps, check the divisor if it is a decimal or a whole number. Obviously, it is a whole number. So, proceed to step 2. Put a decimal point right above the decimal of the dividend. Then, proceed to division. So, 47 yung hinahanap natin. 47 divided by 14. So, ano ba? 47 hinahanap natin. Mas okay sa 42. No? So, 1, 2, 3. So, the answer is 3. Then, 3 times 14. Nakandyan na. 42. Minus. No? So, 47 minus 42 is 5. bring down 6. So, we're looking for 56. Ayun, no? So, meron tayong exact answer. So, 56 divided by 14, that is 4, times 40 is 56. 56 minus 56 is 0. Okay, so who got the same answer? 3 and 4/10. Congratulations! No? So, dun sa mga tama, very good. And we are now ready for our next lesson. Dun naman sa mga nahirapan, pwede nyo namang balik-balikan itong video na to so that you could master, no, your division skills when it comes to dividing decimals by a whole number. So, this has been your Sir Onil, and I hope you enjoyed our lesson for today about division of decimal. Hintayin ko ang inyong pagbabalik, and we can learn together here at Sir Onil's Class Home.